Okay, now we're going to test the Walker with the Colt Dragoon bullets. The difference between this bullet and the Johnson & Dow, which if I get time and this thing doesn't get too weird on me, I may test them. This is a much heavier, larger bullet, and it probably will only fit in Dragoons, either the Walker or the 3-4 models after this. This thing is much longer, heavier, and whole different ball game than a round ball or the Johnson & Dow bullet. Now, Mark, the guy that makes the bullet molds or sells them, he had his Walker and he bought an older one. This one was made in 2020, okay? So this is like, or 21, this is a new production gun. I know the one Mark bought was older, and the guy that does I Like Old West Guns, I don't know how many years ago, him and like the Duelist, 1956 there, I don't know how long ago they made their videos or how far back their guns go. I have one that was made in 1988, and some of these lying around, like I said, you find them unfired, could have been made in the 70s. And there's differences in how they manufacture them. Slight differences. Like this one said to use number 11 caps. It takes number 10s that stay on. 11s will fall off when you fire it. So that's one thing. So Mark, when he did his, said he had a hard time getting 40 grains of powder behind this bullet. And he says, work the loads up. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with 35 grains and increase the powder charge by 1 grain, run it across the chronograph, and if anything is correct, or if I get the same results as I did with the Richmond Laboratory bullet in the 1851 Navy, you're going to find that a smaller charge that gives you room to seat the bullet is probably going to be the best. So that's why I started at 35. I think one of these between 35 and 40 is going to be the one I pick for this bullet. So what I'm going to do, no wad, nothing, just a bullet, because we went and modified the gun. Let me get one of these around here. This one here. Okay, 35 grains. And make sure I'm on top of the powder. Alright, yep, and it slides right up in there. Make sure I'm centered. Yep, well below. Not really cutting a ring, but it's below. It can take more powder. So like I said, I'm going to gradually work it up to see what I end up with. And then again, coat the chambers with, this wonderful yellow stuff. And also, I had to stop and clean the gun. What happens is when you fire the gun, there's a buildup right here on that rod that the cylinder rotates on, and I mean it gets to where it won't move. So 2 shots or 2 cylinders, I had to pull her apart, I just wiped it off. Just pushed a wet patch down the bore. There is buildup in the lands and grooves, or in the grooves. Fortunately, I brought a brass brush, but if this does it in 2 things, I'm going to run a brass brush and clean the gun up good. So we're getting about 12 shots before we start getting real gummy. That's why you don't see these guys shooting the gun a lot. But let me get it loaded. We'll go post target and see what happens. Okay, unfortunately I spilled the powder charge, so I'm only going to be able to run 5. So we got 35 grains of 3F, Golex Einsford, number 10 caps, and then we have the cylinder filled with the grease and no wad. That's not as bad as that round ball, but still, there's some heft. That's a heavy bullet. And these are shooting high. Now we're shooting high. Yeah, I think that cap falls back in there and blocks that other one. The joy of the Old West. And these are only running about 860. Yeah. That's a monster of a bullet. Caps want to break them on me. Alright, we're still freewheeling. So we'll go on to the next one. We'll go take a look at the target. Okay, first one, aiming for there, went high. High. What I was doing is lining up with the bottom edge here, and I got these down into there. So now the gun's shooting high. With the round ball, wasn't doing it. It was shooting dead on. So don't know about that one. Let's see what happens as we step it up. Okay, 36 grain charge with the, this is with the Dragoon bullet. It's the serious one. Yeah, high again. Yeah, them caps like dropping down into the action with this gun. And it's shooting high. It's going over 900 feet per second, 911. Starting to get a little gummy. Smaller powder charge, it doesn't seem to foul up as bad. Yikes. Yeah, that one fell right down in there. Starting to get a drop on the yep, and caps fall down to the hammer. This is part of the idiosyncrasies of this. Yeah, now we're getting gummed up. Loosen it up. I might get one more because I want to shoot the whole range. I might want to get one more before I take it apart and clean it. Alright, and it shot the same. I got one or two in the black, and they're shooting, well, whatever this paper is. I'm aiming here, they're up to the left up in here. So we'll review them when we go over the velocities in that video. Okay, we're at 37 grains. And for those of you that are curious, yes, the frame modification will come out good. I can load these conical bullets in here with little or no trouble, and they go right in. As we see, it flattened that big time. That cap. Now this is a very powerful gun. The recoil, yeah, that sucker fell right down in there. And it's binding up. So we're gonna have to clean it after this run. But yeah, the caps will drop down into the action. This is a gun you have to get used to. This isn't your... Yep, cap was on a hammer, and then it'll misfire. Yeah, it's starting to get gummy. Got to be cleaned. So with a lighter charge, you get about 3 cylinders before it starts gumming up. 4 would be pushing it. And the velocity here, we're at 895 feet per second. And that's pretty heavy. That's a pretty heavy bullet coming out of there. I'm not quite sure the exact weight. It's a high 200 for the Dragoon bullet. And the accuracy's there, still shooting about 6 inches high. The more you increase it, the more them caps just pedal right out, fall in there. But still, very interesting gun. Alright, I'll be back. Our next one, I guess, 38, 39, and 40. We'll see what we do. Okay, we're up to 38 grains with the Dragoon bullet. Now, what I had to do, I took the gun apart very quickly, and again, right where that rod is, where the cylinder rotates, wipe that out, put a wet patch down the center of the cylinder, wipe out anything. And then this time, because I noticed the accuracy's getting weird, I ran a brass brush down the bore, then a wet patch. This bore is clean now. When I shoved that brush down there, all kinds of flaky, weird stuff come flying out. So these are not high volume firing weapons. You get about 2 cylinders, maybe 3 out of this. My 1860, it's about 2 or 3, and then they get gummed up. And then also, shooting it, you have to clean the bore because you do get a buildup of fouling and I believe leading to where it will adversely affect the accuracy. So what I'm going to do here is I run this course of bullets, find where the chronograph looks good for velocity and consistency, and then go with that. But then be aware, after 2-3 cylinders, your accuracy will degrade unless you clean the bore out, I guess, on any of these. That's coming right in. But as I increase the powder charge, I also notice it's destroying these caps. They're like just flaking right out. So you're getting back pressure in here. And that one's in the black. I like it. This might be the load. And we're also getting the rod to drop down. That one fell backwards towards the action. Yep. See, these things get stuck on the hammer in that little notch. I believe that's what's causing the misfires. Yeah, see here. It gets caught down in the hammer here and it doesn't go up all the way to detonate the cap. Oh yeah. Got a jam. Looks like I'm gonna have to go disassemble the gun. Okay, we're getting about 911 feet per second. And as far as the target goes, that group pretty tight. You know, all the malfunctions and that. The group's tightening up. Either I'm getting used to the gun or... And that's 2 holes right there. So that might be a winner, but still, 38 grains is pretty rough. I'm going to try to get 39 and 40 in there and see what we can do. Okay, we're at 39. And really it's getting close. 39 you can get in comfortably, but I'm thinking 40 is going to be about the max you're going to be able to do. Yeah, and these caps are getting mutilated. Drop down and jam the action. Ooh, that's in the black. Nice. Kind of actually popping the action back. A little stiff. May have to go with number 2F instead of the 3. Smooth this out a little. I'm going to try that next. This is humming them in accuracy wise. Probably going to be the most accurate load I got. Shooting high, but I can keep the sights in there. Now the rod's dropping too. Our loading lever's coming down on us. And yeah, we're getting gummed up. Well, I got it moving. We'll go on with the 40. Okay, this one's running 905, and actually with this bullet, this is about the most accurate one I got. See that there? That's 3 shots, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's accuracy wise, we're getting there. See, this is what you got to kind of trick out, but the gun's acting up. So let me take a look at, I'm going to try to get the 40 grain in there and wrap up this session. Okay, this is going to be the last one with our Dragoon bullet. Got 40 grains of 3F behind it. Now, we're already getting to where it's kind of blowing the hammer back a little. What's going on here now? There we go. And the caps are just flattening right out and jamming the gun up. So, be aware. So let's see what we get here. 39 looked to be the most accurate. This might be right behind it. Yeah, see the caps get stuck on the hammer, get stuck in the inside the mechanism. And that's 904. It's not much more of the grain of powder. Yeah. Oh yeah. You know you're shooting this sucker now. Now where the hell did the cap go? There it is. These things fall down into the action, and that's what's screwing me up. Especially the heavier the charge and the heavier the power, the more that happens. Which you're not going to get much more powder behind this bullet. Woo. Yep. Yeah. So that's going to be it for today. I may make another video using a different bullet and try something else here. And what I will do is put all the targets and chronograph results in a separate video listing the 3 different items I tested.